here we have all of our pieces now. Plate, bowl, cup, and they're hard enough to handle them without them going all floppy and bendy. So I'll start with the cup. So you can see on the inside, I'll try and shine the light a bit better. Don't know if you can see in there. It's a bit rough on the inside. So what we're going to do is take our spoon tool, and you can use a bit of water as well, not too much. You can use a bit of water, and we will begin to smooth out the roughness on the inside, just in a very gentle kind of motion, because you don't want to break your newly made pot. So I've got some water here, and I'm just going to take my finger now and just run it along those seams, or where any cracks, little cracks have formed, just to kind of get that clay working again, smoothing out. So again, not too much. You don't want to make it so wet that it's going to collapse on you again. Just trying to get it a little bit more like workable, I guess. So I'm just going to take my spoon and then smooth out those seams. You're never going to be able to get rid of the seams completely, because that's a part of those sort of signs that it's made by hand, is that you have that lovely seam that shows where you've made it. Look at my bowl next. There we go, that's the inside. So some of these are alright, I don't mind a little bit of wrinkle, but I don't want that one right there. I don't know if you can see. That one's quite a big wrinkle right there. And food will get into that. So I'm gonna work out that one with my spoon. Get my spoon a bit wet. Just in the same gentle, slow kind of motion, work that seam and any others that are looking a bit on the big side. That food could get caught into. And this one. There aren't any folds here, but there are some little crackly places where the clay was worked and molded over the shape, over the plate shape. So I'm just gonna clean those up with my sponge, make it nice and smooth. We'll start with my cup again. So you can see it's got quite rough edges there. It's not really something that you want to drink from once it gets hard and fired. So you can take your butter knife and you can begin to just very carefully, gently clean some of those sharp edges off. any of the little scraggly bits. Just sort of gently scrape those. Yeah, so now that's much better. All of those sharpish sort of bits have been worked off. Now I'm going to get my sponge again, water, sponge, and just sort of gently smooth off those bits so that it's nice, a nice sort of feeling on your mouth when you go to drink off of it. You want it to be nice and smooth and soft. Well, not soft, but a soft sort of feeling rather than a rough feeling. And what I'm going to do is the same with my plate and my bowl. I won't video all of it because it's the same sort of actions that you're doing. You're just scraping off those rough bits that we cut with a knife. And then going over those, once you've got all the way around, going over those and smoothing them out. So I'll come back again once I've finished all of that, and then you can have a look at sort of the finished pieces. I should also add, it's going to be really tempting at this point to want to press something onto this side of your clay piece. Resist the temptation because the pieces are leather hard, they're going to be more brittle, and they won't really take the image from the thing that you're pressing in very well anyways, because the clay has hardened up. What you can do though is you can very gently write on the surface if you want, you know, where you're not going to eat, but along the sides, something like that. You can write something, your name. I've done strawberries on my dinner set, so I thought I would write strawberries and cream because that's one of my favourite things in the whole world. So I'm going to do that right now. You can hear Lydia looking for her wellies. Lots of playtime in the garden when it's nice. So I'm just going to write strawberries and cream. Another good idea, if you do want to write something and you're not sure about starting it.
Polly's drinking the water for the pond.
Oh dear, that's okay. She might be thirsty. That's our Sophie reporting on our lambs that we're looking after. Polly and Rosie, the lambs. So what I was saying, if you're worried about making a start in the clay, making a mistake, you can take a scrap of paper and write out what you want to write into the clay first. So you get the spellings right, or whatever it is, the design. I'm going for something quite simple, so I'm just going to write it straight in. Strawberries. And cream. There. And any of the little sort of bumpy bits of clay that appear where you've written, leave those for now. When your piece is completely dry, you can just flick them off. So again, resist the temptation to try and rub them off because it'll just make it messy, because they'll brush off once it's dry. Although you can't press things in, you can write as I demonstrated earlier, and you can also add some little things on top. And I'm just going to show you what I mean by that and how to go about doing that if you want to. And what I mean is a three-dimensional part to your pot. So you can see in my cup, I've got written strawberries and cream, and I've got a little strawberry that I've added just inside there, right before my strawberry word starts. So little strawberries and cream, and I'm going to show you what to do to add another strawberry on, and this can apply to anything that you want to put on as well. Just say again, not too big, not too thick, so that it doesn't increase the chances of it breaking off or exploding off. So what I've done just here, get my light a little bit better. What I've done just here is I've taken a needle, like a sewing needle. I've got a needle tool, and I've just scratched the surface of where I want my little strawberry to go. Only do the spot where it's going to stick, whatever you're trying to stick on. So I've scratched my surface there. I've made my little strawberry here. And I'm going to take my sewing needle or needle tool and I'm just going to scratch the bottom of that as well. So they both have scratchy bottoms. Then take a little bit of a dab of water and dab some water on the underside of the strawberry. Dab some water on the scratchy bit inside your cup, and then press those two gently together. And what that's doing is it's just making that surface sticky again, so that the thing that you're adding will want to stick on and not just fall off. Because it's leather hard now, they won't want to stick unless you get them a bit wet. So we're scratching just to create a bit of surface texture to get that water in and make it all sticky and squishy, so that it squishes into place. So there's my strawberries and cream cup. There we go. And I did the same to my bowl. And to my plate as well. There, just to give it a bit of a fun dimension. Enjoy playing.